Okay, I'm gonna yap pretty hard here very quickly. I'm gonna try to get through everything, and I want to talk about a little something that has to do with Spider-Man and these new updates, these little shadow buffs, and all these other things that are happening and occurring around it in the community. So first things first, if you want to know about any secret buffs or anything like that on Spider-Man, I checked a majority of the stuff, pretty much all the stuff that already exists currently in the live build. It's still in there. None of that's really changed. I didn't do a lot of like new tech searching if it's in there, so there might be something new. Probably not super significant that we don't already have the just for at this point. But with that being said, I do want to go right into a topic, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and it's just straight up true. So I fully expected there to even potentially be like a flat out crazy new tech. And once again, there may be. I didn't go tech searching too much into this build. Just check the already existing shit. But something that they keep doing, and I think you guys notice it, and I notice it too, and I want to bring awareness and attention to it, and that's little changes that they do on this character. Little shadow buffs, shadow changes. There are so many changes that when I go in lab, I don't even tell anybody about. And I know some of you guys don't say anything about it either. You notice it, you're like, something feels a little bit off with the character. I don't know exactly what it is. And me having pretty much everything documented in my mind, I know the tiniest things that occur change on the character. You know, I'm not going to put out like a big video on it or something like that. I'll mention it in passing sometimes, or I just simply won't mention it at all if it's not like truly significant. Not that I'm gatekeeping or anything, it's just there's actually so many little tiny timings, little bullshit changes that they change every single patch. It's a shadow change every single patch. And I'm actually going to talk about a few here. So, a lot of these occurred back when the Big Head update happened, like these little minuscule things. A good portion of them came with the Big Head update. Some of them just came in the most recent patch. But anyways, I just want to talk about a couple of them. Maybe you'll notice a few of them. For instance, whenever you go to swing with Spider-Man, like you guys know what we call the short plink, which is you attach to a wall off the ground, get an instant overhead. Just use hold to swing, attach high, instant overhead. Well, something that we do a lot of, that you guys probably see me do on the channel, is we do a lot of raw overheads, where we fly in, do a raw overhead, fly in, do a tracer overhead. In my opinion, this is the best combo starter that exists in the game. Obviously, doing pull stuff, whether you pull people off the map, pull them up away from their team, or pull them, away into your team, just moving them around the map in places that they don't want to be. This is also a really good starter, one of the best, of course. But for burst potential, outside of the pull shenanigans, overhead entries and overhead starters, or tracer overhead starters, the best thing you can do in my opinion. It is the best burst. And one of the first little things that kind of changed, I noticed with the overheads here, and once again, this was the Big Head patch when this happened, is you need a little bit more momentum, or a little bit further, travel time before you can get that overhead where you're moving forward. It like takes a second now. And if you don't meet that little threshold, you just stop midair and overhead in place. That was a little timing that they changed. A shadow nerf, if you will. Another one, I'll go ahead and show this here. I've been doing, everyone knows I like the FFAme stack. Well, this has got some weird stuff that's been happening whenever we do the FFAme stack. And what it will do is, it will do the uppercut animation into the get over here targeting animation, and the uppercut never hits. And this completely fucks up that tech sometimes. Another little one. So I've been seeing people in my comment section, I've gotten people coming to me asking me about this, and they're saying the OG movestack is back. And I want to apologize for not putting this stuff out, because once again, there's things that I find just weeks in advance, these little itty bitty things, and I don't post about them anywhere. And then like I'll see these posts where people are like, oh shit, the new tech's come back, and I look at it and I instantly know what it is. But then like I see the community, they're all like, yo, that's crazy, this is back. And I'm just like, I almost feel responsible for not putting something out for it, just so it doesn't snowball into confusion of a new tech or a new something or a new concept or whatever it may be when we've either known about it, it's in the server, it's, you know, I got it in like clips files or whatever it is. I almost feel like I need to just start putting out like 1-minute videos or 1-minute shorts of like these tiny minuscule updates, just so you guys have like a reference of that, so the community doesn't get confused if it's something new or something's changed. So I apologize for that, but no, the OG movestack, overhead and uppercut, it's not back. What that is that you guys have been seeing or hearing about, what it is I'm just been calling it an invisible tracer. So with this update, there's another little shadow change. And see, this is what I'm talking about. All these little bullshit shadow changes where the animations of moves actually lasts longer now for whatever reason. A couple that I'll show you guys is Symbiote's gone, but we're doing uppercut into Symbiote here in one of these clips, or a few of these clips rather, and you'll notice the uppercut kills second. Why would the uppercut kill second if we did the uppercut first? That's the activeness on the uppercut. I mean, the active frames are still going, even after the Symbiote hits instantly, because Symbiote has a very fast startup into the active frames. So why would that be? That's a change that they did, whether it be server side, engine side, leniency on inputs, or activeness of moves, to the point where it allows this uppercut to actually stay active and hit second for the kill. And that goes directly on par with the invisible tracer thing that I'm talking about. And there was iterations of this where you could, we called it move stacking a tracer, hiding it into like 3-hit sequences and stuff like that. You could do that. You could also do it with overheads. The timing was really tight. But now the timing is so lenient that it's actually significant, to the point where this happens all the time. Like, I'll be doing the air pull combos and stuff like that, and I always cancel it with a web swing into a tracer. You should be, by the way. People are teaching you how to do these combos wrong. I'm going to put out a guide to show you how to do them correctly. But when I'm doing some of those, or like if I want to pull and cancel it into a tracer, you'll notice how there's times you can hear the tracer animation coming out even while I'm doing the uppercut, like start up the uppercut. There's one in here where you don't even see the tracer on them, but it is tagged on them. I uppercut and it rips it off for extra damage. So the point I'm getting at is, the OG movestack isn't back. That is a invisible tracer that is being applied with these new activeness on these moves, which once again is a shadow change. Always constantly shadow changing shit on this character. Another one is the timing at which you can do something. So there's a concept that I put in the server a couple months ago or something like that. And it's, I guess you could say it's new tech kind of, but I mean, it's a different concept idea that I kind of put out that nobody's really kind of dabbled in, and it was having to do with burning the overhead. So you do a web swing, you do a double jump or something of the nature, you get an overhead to come out, the very start of it, and then you tracer out of the overhead, and that will instantly allow you to do normal punches. So this is a way to double jump, throw a tracer, and then get normal punches afterwards. And I labbed this out with a lot of combos and whatnot. I found like this cool little swaggy tank loop I've been fucking around with. It doesn't have any like true viability to it, you know, other things are faster, but it looks really cool just kind of using that tech. And that's just me. Once again, I'm just kind of burning the overheads on purpose constantly to get normal punches out for these loops and, you know, sequences that honestly doesn't matter in the forefront of the meta. Just a niche little thing, if you will. But how we got that to start coming out is I noticed after a bunny hop double jump, the overhead actually starts coming out way earlier than it did before. That may be something you guys haven't noticed. And it's these tiny little timings that are constantly changing. Like in the new live update, something that I notice is a little off sometimes. When I'm going to swing, it feels like my spacing is just like a touch different. It just feels like a touch off. I could be placeboing it playing on the new Ultron map. It's got shit everywhere. You're bumping into shit a lot, and that may be what it is. But I notice like when I'm just grazing on things just barely, it's killing my swing more often than it did. You know, that may be placebo, but once again, if it's not, that's another tiny little shadow change that is just weird that they constantly do on this character. Another one, there's a tech, we put this on the channel a while ago, and it was where you could spit out a tracer on someone, you uppercut, it rips the tracer off for the extra damage, but if you were fast enough, you could swing cancel the uppercut and then do the get over here targeting to go towards them. You could do that with that tracer that you just ripped off with the uppercut. It's almost like some people kind of call it like a reverse fame stack, but it's not truly that. It's just a tracer, uppercut, swing cancel the uppercut, get over here targeting using that tracer, the original tracer. Well, the timing on this is much more lenient. Before you had to double bind it to your scroll wheel, and you couldn't web swing towards them, it was really finicky, it just simply wasn't worth to do the tech. Well, now with default binds, you can do this relatively decent, like it's decently consistent. And so that timing on that has changed now, along with the activeness on all the other moves. So it really seems like every single patch we get something just tweaked just a little bit, whether it be for good or for worse. I mean, you guys remember the old video where they removed the original move stack? We crashed out about that. And then there was another patch after the fact where we got new momentum. It was way easier to b-hop, remember? So it's just, they keep doing this, and they know what they're doing in the background. They know that it's going to change things on Spider-Man just a little bit here and there. I think some of them, they do it on the low to, you know, like keep us happy with kind of what's going on. Some of them, it, you know, messes us up. It's bad for our character, of course. But you'll never see any of this stuff in the patch notes. Hell, the OG move stack, nobody even noticed it until I got on there and made the video on it. And then I had to go contact Danny about it. They didn't even have it in the patch notes until I talked to him about it. And then I guess he talked to whoever and they added it in there. And it's like, it was almost like I think they knew they got rid of the OG move stack. They just kind of snuck it in. And they really thought the CEO wasn't going to notice that the OG move stack was gone, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. I noticed everything. I made everything. Of course I noticed it. All right, anyways, see, we're not CEOing this video. Oh, and another one that we talked about was whenever we were doing the pull mechanics, how we would pull them and try to pull them into our team very quickly by using like a web swing or like doing a zip b-hop down after we pulled them, like a 180 zip b-hop. Well, this timing last patch got a tiny bit easier. And there was also a way that I tried to do it where I tried to do the wall bounce really high off the wall. And to do that, the timing was extremely strict. I think I mentioned in the video, I was like, yeah, if you're doing that, like, don't even worry about trying to do that. It's way too tight to get anything out of it, even when you happen to hit it. Well, sure enough, the new update, you can do a pull into a wall bounce and it will actually pull them a little bit ways. Much more lenient timing. Does that tech have any real value? Not really. Like, you'll still do the kidnapping stuff, like pulling them into your team or trying to kidnap them a little bit off the ground or whatever it may be if you want to pull anybody, or just doing the ordinary off maps, you know, just all the original shit pretty much. But needless to say, it was a niche little thing that happened to get another slight timing change. And to be honest, there's even more of these. Like this one here is a flat out bug. To be honest, I've been trying to replicate it. If somebody replicates this, hit me up, we'll put a video out on it because it would be pretty crazy. But this is a 15-meter uppercut. It might just have something to do with the bot spawning in. It's definitely a bug of some sort. But regardless, this is just random stuff that occurs. I guess I've kind of had stuff like this happen. Some really weird uppercut range shenanigans where I've hit it like extremely far. But not in this specific way. But once again, just random miscellaneous bullshit, makes no sense things that change in the background or are possible and can happen on the character. Now, if that brings new tech in, that's amazing, right? But more times than not, it just kind of messes up our flow just slightly, where we have to learn this little different timing on the character and get used to it again. Like, there's so many of these that have just, like, I've sat there and gone, oh, look at this. Here's a fucking another one. And it's just past me. Like, because there's so many little things that I just sweep back under the rug. Or you play a little bit and they go in passing because you've now gotten used to whatever that slight tweak is, and then I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. It's good now, I'm used to it. Stuff like that. So I know you guys notice these. I know a lot of you do. Some of you don't, but I know a lot of you do. Some of you may say something about them. Usually, like, I won't say anything until I tell certain groups of people, and then they're like, yeah, hold up. I feel that too, actually. And I'm like, yeah, see, this shit is real. Like, this is a thing. But anyways, I just wanted to make people aware of these tiny little shadow buffs or shadow nerfs, just shadow changes in general, that are some of the time bullshit, some of the time good for us. We get new techs out of it. I mean, hell, even the symbiote stall tech where we got the infinite double jumps, like, Ghost Symbiote been out for forever. They barely tweaked the timing. This doesn't eat the symbiote anymore. So there's another shadow change. The timing's different. We get a new tech out of it. But anyways, it's just little things like that. I just wanted to bring people's attention to this because if you're ever wondering why your Spidey feels like shit or feels different, it's probably because he is slightly different. The CEO just didn't go make a formal video about it. If the CEO made a formal video about every single thing that he found or every little change, I'd probably have like 500 Spider-Man videos on the channel at this point. But anyways, that's it. I fucking giga yapped on this one. 15-minute video, my bad. But yeah, everybody needs to know about that. The shadow changes just constantly, and I'll try to update those more often if I can. And yeah, that's it. If you enjoy the video, like, sub, comment, do the thing, do the algorithm for me. We're almost at 10K. So close to 10K. If you want to help me out, that'd be amazing. We get more money once I hit 10K for Rivals Partner. So, hook your boy up. And we're, I think, like 500 on TikTok. If you want to go help us out over there, we get to 1,000. We can start monetizing over there and whatnot. So, but I appreciate y'all just watching. If you stayed the whole 15 minutes, you're simply the GOAT. And that's all there is to it. But anyways, that's it. Y'all have a good one. And juggle video stuff, all the craziness with that shit coming soon. It's one of our most anticipated videos from a lot of people. I've been getting this question for months. So be on the lookout for that and many more next level Spider-Man concepts that you're going to want to lock in your brain. So, all right, peace.